Welcome to the Emergency Management Simulation Exercise. This is a facilitated classroom exercise based on a video presentation of an incident that requires a response by the Navy Installation Command Incident Response Organization. Your participation in this exercise will require critical analysis of necessary response elements during a complex security-related emergency and introduce you to the roles and responsibilities of the Security Department, the Emergency Operations Center, and the Regional Operations Center. Our objectives are to understand the roles and responsibilities of a security officer as they affect incident response, Emergency Operations Center activation and manning, execution of an installation AT plan, mutual aid agreements, multi-jurisdictional scenarios, Incident Command System, ICS, resource management, mobilization and demobilization, and recovery. Today, Naval Station Norfolk's main Navy exchange, NEX, is anticipating 2,000 shoppers for the first day of its annual red tag sale. It's also a payday on the eve of a 3-day weekend. The NEX is located just outside of Naval Station Norfolk's heavily guarded gates 2 and 5, but has no entry control point or gate security of its own. Although purchases at the NEX require an active or retired military or dependent ID card, the NEX is easily accessible to the general public 24/7. The NEX complex is shared by a large Deca commissary and Chili's restaurant and a movie theater, which are co-located on the shared Navy property. In short, the NEX is an unprotected, vulnerable potential target adjacent to a hardened Navy installation security perimeter. Naval Station Norfolk is currently operating under a standard security posture, FPCON Bravo, with additional measures. The main Navy exchange is scheduled to host their annual red tag sale this weekend. This event typically draws huge crowds each year with an expected attendance of over 6,000 people throughout the 3-day weekend, including many visitors from surrounding communities. While there has been no specific credible evidence of threat in the local area, the FBI and NCIS daily threat summaries have reported increased activities on known jihadist websites, which glorify the Mumbai attacks, and a desire to replicate such a tragic event at U.S. military bases stateside and abroad when the opportunity presents itself. As a precaution, the CO has approved the Anti-Terrorism Working Group recommendation to increase RAMs and add an additional sentry at the installation's entry control points. The Navy installation has complete, signed, and exercise plans in place, which include an installation emergency management, EM plan, anti-terrorism, AT plan, post orders, pre-planned responses, and installation commander's critical information requirements. It is 0900 on Friday morning, and the NEX doors have just opened. There's a single greeter at the front door who is not checking IDs today. No uniformed security personnel are present. There are currently 2 patrol cars on routine patrol within the confines of the Naval Station's secured perimeter, inside the fence line. At 0930, security at Gate 5 reports a suspicious vehicle trying to access the base, triggering CCIR number 2612. The driver of a local Uber provided suspicious credentials, prompting a vigilant sentry to send the vehicle to the far right lane for further inspection. Naval Station Norfolk's duty chief of the guard arrived. The taxi driver is detained for questioning. After the driver gives permission to search the trunk, the sentry discovers a diverse assortment of electronics, transistors, and switches as well as rolls of electrical wiring and duct tape. Approximately 10 disposable cell phones are also found in the glove compartment. Underneath the driver's seat, the sentry finds numerous pictures of buildings from various Navy region mid-Atlantic installations, including multiple photos of enlisted barracks. The vehicle has been towed. The questioning continues at the security building, and the ECP has been reopened. Traffic is now flowing. Sit-rep to follow. At 11:20, the CDO receives a phone report of shots fired at the main Norfolk Navy Exchange. First responder units, base security, medical, fire, are responding. Dispatch relays that several witnesses called 911 and reported seeing 4 to 5 heavily armed gunmen with assault rifles exiting a vehicle and entered the Navy Exchange building immediately prior to the shooting. At 11:25, additional reports via 911 with multiple injuries and deaths reported. Shooting reported in the garden area, main NEX and food court and commissary. Location and status of the installation CO is unknown, but he was last seen at the food court. A lockdown order has been issued to the installation. Another suspicious vehicle is reported at Gate 3 with no amplifying information. The ATO is en route to the EOC. The XO just arrived there. You are the SECO and happened to be driving off the base when shots were fired. NEX shooting now making international headlines. Shots continue.
We have breaking news from the Norfolk Naval Base that an active shooter is on location. The situation is still unfolding.
Multiple civilian and military law enforcement personnel have self-deployed and are arriving at the ICP, currently manned by an MAC, 4 MA2s, and a Fire Chief Command vehicle. Unified command has been established. A preliminary triage report from the Exchange complex, an estimate compiled from multiple phone calls from patrons hiding in the building, reports multiple deceased, as many as 30, and another 15 injured. There is an unknown number unaccounted for.
Sir, we have reports of at least 4 shooters in the Exchange complex. We will have 2 of our teams entering the building shortly. Norfolk Police and SWAT teams have arrived and are completing their tactical assessment, and they're planning entry. We'll coordinate our movements with theirs. The city's hostage negotiator has also arrived. We have 2 of our own armed sentries in the building. They entered together as soon as they arrived on scene, but they're not responding to communication, so we do not know their status. We've established entry control points at the 2 entries to the Exchange complex, but the traffic is already backed up on the main arteries and onto the highway. We've also established a perimeter at the fence line. We need additional armed security here right away.
I am Commander Jane Rawlings, the Senior Medical Officer at the Branch Clinic. Our clinic is across the parking lot from the NEX. We have already activated a triage unit at the scene and are receiving wounded at the clinic. We are not a hospital, and the casualties have already exceeded our limited capabilities. So far, there are 14 wounded that have been evaluated here and sent to the clinic for further treatment. We have more than a dozen wounded casualties being evaluated now, with more on the way. We need medical transport immediately, but traffic is going to make ground service impossible. We need more emergency response supplies and trauma-trained medical staff ASAP.
This is Grant Alton at the city's Emergency Operations Center. The Operations Center was activated about 15 minutes ago, and we are ready to provide assistance. We've established a joint information center and are coordinating with your regional operations center to get out a public service message right away. We need to keep traffic away from the base and inform the public that are already affected by the incident. We also want the public to be aware of other suspicious activity and know how to report any related incidents. The installation is asked to provide a Navy press release to be given to the media, and opening comments start in about 45 minutes at 11 a.m.
Sir, we've just received a 911 call from a civilian at the Fleet Logistics Center who reported seeing an armed terrorist running across the parking lot of building S91. She described him as a Middle Eastern male wearing all black and carrying a black gun, a rifle. Dispatch has sent a patrol car to investigate the report and get a statement.
This is Special Agent Crawley with the Norfolk Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We have assumed tactical control at Incident Command and activated our Tactical Command Center in order to coordinate response activities between city, state, and military response forces. At this time, we can confirm that 2 assailants have been killed inside the NEX. 2 additional assailants are still active, and 1 assailant is believed to have a hostage with them. The commissary and garden area are safe and secure, and a tactical medical response unit is currently treating and evacuating the wounded.
Two additional assailants have been killed by first responders. The NEX facility is being swept by the FBI and local law enforcement agents. A team of military working dogs is searching for explosives, but it appears the attack is finally imminent.
Sir, the CO has been found and is currently being treated for injuries sustained in the attack. He's being transported to the Naval Hospital, but his injuries are not life-threatening.
We've obviously had massive coverage of this incident all day. There are still television station helicopters circling outside of the base perimeter, but media personnel are off base and have been directed to go to the JIC for further public affairs information.
Sir, the inspection of the exchange is complete. No other gunmen were found. Canine sweep is also complete. The exchange will remain closed until further notice while federal agents conduct a thorough investigation.
Sir, the FBI has secured the entire Exchange complex and are holding all personnel not injured on site for interviews. I've been informed that we're setting up a screening site at Building N34, but we're going to need bus transportation. How do you want us to proceed?
Sir, the Regional Operations Center requests an updated SITREP and current personnel for casualty and accountability status by no later than 1500. Additionally, we need your revised recovery plan as soon as it is available. The ROC Battle Watch Commander will be briefing the Regional Commander on the Naval Station's incident plan in 1 hour.